The movie begins by introducing the family. Guy and Priska, and their children Maddox, a girl of about 13, and Trent, a boy of about 7, come to a fancy secluded tropical resort, called Anamico, for a family vacation. The resort is simply beautiful, and the family checks into their rooms. Trent quickly strikes up a friendship with a boy, about his age, named Idlib, the manager's nephew. The kids have fun and play, including asking other resort visitors what their names are and who they work for. Idlib teaches Trent a special cipher by which the children correspond. Maddox, who is in a transitional age, cannot find a company because the girl is no longer interested in children, and it is too early for her to go to the adult guys. The husband and wife secretly discuss that this is their last normal trip, and when they arrive home, they intend to tell the children about the divorce and the mother's terminal cancer. The couple scandalizes, and the kids overhear it all, and they are not happy about it. In the evening, somewhere on the beach, a girl undresses and goes swimming in the sea, while her boyfriend, a healthy African-American man, watches. During breakfast, Trent sees Idlib and wants to play with him, but the resort manager doesn't allow his nephew to go out to the guests. We are also shown another group of resort residents. Dr. Charles is sitting with his young beautiful wife Crystal, his 6-year-old daughter Kara, and his elderly mother Agnes. At one of the tables, a woman named Patricia begins to have an epileptic seizure. Dr. Charles helps the lady deal with the seizure, and Patricia's husband, Jaron, helps him alone. After breakfast, the full Cap family, as well as Charles's group, in a pleasure bus, set off to relax on a picturesque secluded upscale beach located in a protected part of the island. The driver takes both groups to the end of the route, gives them sunbeds and a few baskets of food, and then shows them where to go, promising to come back and pick them up in the evening. The group walks through the jungle and then through a gorge, and comes to a beach that meets their expectations, for it is very beautiful. The African-American man whose girlfriend had been swimming the night before is already on the beach. Maddox recognizes the man as Sedan, a rapper popular with young people. The kids are all playing together and the adults are relaxing on the sand. A pathos Crystal immediately starts taking pictures. The girls find buried in the sand old dolls left behind by other kids, as well as other items like cutlery. Trent, swimming near a rock, notices the complete absence of fish. Suddenly, the boy is touched by a drowned girl who has gone swimming during the night. The adults fish the girl out and examine the body. Sedan approaches them, and you can see that his nose is bleeding. Sedan, whose real name is Brandon, explains that the girl was with him, but then swam off to an unknown location, and he has been waiting for her since the night before. Charles immediately begins to suspect Sedan of murder. The man notices that there is no cell phone service on the beach. At this time, Jaron and Patricia come to the beach and the couple is asked about the driver, but they claim that their driver also left immediately. Soon Agnes becomes unwell and Charles goes to check on his mother. Jaron decides to go back through the gorge and catch a cell phone signal or contact the hotel in some other way. However, after walking a bit through the gorge, the man is thrown off and passes out, before regaining consciousness on the beach. At this time, the children start to feel something strange. Suddenly Agnes dies and everyone thinks it is a shock. At this time, the children meet Jaron and Patricia, but it turns out that they look 5 years older than their real age. And the parents can hardly recognize their own children, because they have grown up instantly. Sedan tries to escape through a crevasse, but he, and Charles, who is pursuing him, are pushed out of there, and the men regain consciousness on the same beach, not realizing how they got there. Another escape attempt leads to the same result. Everyone is shocked at what is happening. Suddenly, Charles pulls out a knife and stabs Sedan in the face, cutting the man's cheek. Afterward, the man says he didn't mean to do it, but just felt threatened. Sedan's scar heals almost instantly. Afterward, the man explains to the adults that the girl he was on the beach with had multiple sclerosis and that he himself has hemophilia, which explains his constant nosebleeds. Suddenly, tumors in Priska's stomach begin to cause the lady a lot of pain and suffering. The adults try to help her and find a tumor the size of a tennis ball. Priska claims that the tumor was benign and no more than 3 centimeters. The doctor proceeds with emergency surgery to remove the tumor, which has already grown to the size of a small melon during the conversation. The incision on the woman's abdomen heals almost instantly, so they have to act quickly. At this time, Sedan discovers that the body of the girl he was with is completely decomposed to the bones. Everything that is happening makes people come to the conclusion that something related to time displacement is happening on the beach. Trent and Kara get even older, and left alone in a tent, they move on to adult games. Soon everyone starts looking for them, and upon leaving the tent, everyone notices that Kara has become pregnant. All the adults are shocked by what has happened, and silently look at the still recently small children. However, the process develops quickly, and it is already necessary to deliver Kara's baby. They happen quite quickly, but the baby dies after a minute because of inattention, and also because it could not eat itself, and there was not enough food for it to grow. Other adults begin to show more visible signs of aging. However, Crystal, due to a huge number of plastic surgeries, endures this process much harder than the others. Charles begins to lose his mind due to his progressive schizophrenia, and after a while he attacks Sedan. The rest of the adults take the knife from the doctor and try to come up with an alternative plan to get out of this place. Finding that there is no way they can get through the gorge, Jaren tries to swim along the shore to find a way out. The humans also notice a man watching them from afar. The people conclude that they were lured to the beach on purpose, and all these people have in common is their illnesses. Since the passports were left at the hotel, under the control of the resort owners, no one will know where they went missing. Maddox questions his mother about why parents wanted to split up. Priska admits that she was seeing another man and Guy was unaware of it. The mother tries to explain herself somehow, but Maddox starts to get angry with her mother. Then the girl goes for a swim to make sense of everything. Suddenly, the body of Jaren, who apparently lost consciousness and drowned in the water, is nailed to the girl. The body is pulled out, and Patricia mourns her husband. Kara and Trent bury their child, and the girl decides to get out. Kara decides to climb a rock, and tries to get off the beach that way. However, before the girl can climb up, she faints and falls down, crashing to the ground. This incident deeply hurts Trent's heart. After a while, Patricia has another epileptic seizure, and the lady dies. It's starting to get dark. Crystal is freaking out because of her rapid aging and her deteriorating physical condition. It turns out that the woman was hunchbacked from birth, and then surgeries fixed everything, but now Crystal is bad again, as her body lacks vitamins. At this time, Guy notices that he is gradually losing his eyesight, and Priska is noticeably graying. The pair speak about another man in Priska's life, with Guy admitting that he knew about him. The man feels that he should have put more effort into saving the marriage, and also notes that his rival is a loser and that Priska deserves someone better. Trent and Maddox find the diary of a past visitor to the beach who was trying to analyze what was going on. The former children also notice cameras that are filming the beach from afar. Dr. Charles goes insane and attacks Guy and Priska. The doctor makes up that the couple will turn him into the police for his attack on Sedan. Meanwhile, the hidden Trent and Maddox are attacked by a deranged Crystal, who doesn't want to be seen and blames Trent for her daughter's death. The woman chases the children through the cave, but before she dies, the lady's body becomes horribly distorted. The whole thing is that when the lady crawls, her bones, weak due to lack of vitamins, break, and due to the rapid passage of time, the bones fuse back together, but incorrectly. At this time Charles wounds Guy, but the man's wounds heal quickly. At this time, Priska comes to Guy's aid, and wounds Charles with a rusty kitchen knife found in the sand. This knife introduces an infection that quickly spreads through the man's body and kills him instantly. The family gathers around the fire. Guy finds it difficult to speak, and the elderly man is no longer thinking clearly. However, shortly before his death, Gaius lets Priska know that he still loves the woman. Priska then gets up momentarily, but immediately collapses and dies next to her husband. Both children mourn for their parents. In the morning, Trent and Maddox are in their 50s. Trent finds and deciphers a note that Idlib once gave him. It turns out that the note reads, "My uncle doesn't like coral." The brother and sister notice a coral reef nearby, and realize that this must be the way out. They swim there, but underwater, Maddox's dress gets caught in the coral. When our heroes don't resurface for an extended period of time, the driver of the van that brought everyone to the beach, and who has been watching them all this time, informs his boss that all the members of trial number 73 are dead. It turns out that the resort is a front for a medical research group that lures people with medical conditions to the beach for clinical trials of life-saving drugs. The drugs are given to all vacationers upon arrival, disguised as special cocktails. Scientists have discovered that the beach, somehow, speeds up the aging process, and now their drugs, instead of being tested for decades, can be tested in one day. This time, scientists think they've found a cure for epilepsy, because Patricia didn't have a seizure on the beach for 8 hours, the equivalent of about 16 years. The boss says they have saved thousands of lives today, and they will save millions in the future. The resort manager meets the new visitors, who are treated to a welcome cocktail. Suddenly, Trent and Maddox show up and manage to swim out using nature's natural air dome, a cavity filled with air. Trent found a man he had talked to when he was just a child and learned that the man was a police officer. Trent gave the man a diary he had found on the beach that contained the names of many missing people and their medical conditions. Little Idrib sees Trent and recognizes him even in his adult form. Trent and Maddox tell everyone the truth, while the entire staff of the resort realizes that they are in big trouble. The authorities come to arrest all the hotel staff, and a policeman is about to take Trent and Maddox to their aunt. When asked how the aunt reacts, Trent replies, "How would you react if a 50-year-old man called you and said he was your 6-year-old nephew?" This is the end of the movie. Thank you all for watching this video to the end. Give this video a like. Write in the comments what you think about this movie, and see you in new videos.